Hello, wonderful people, and welcome back to Ghosttrick. We are going to hop into chapter 17 now. And as you can see, it is already 5 a.m., so it's not really far till dawn. I can't wait. Let's see what's gonna happen next. The upended submarine continues to sink slowly but surely. A long, long journey to the bottom of the sea. Well, that's not good. Oh, there's that arm that grabbed Lean. Lean and the little lady found the darkness and the salt water closing in on them. But at the very last second, something saved them. Now it looks down at them quietly. Alright. My head is filled with one giant question. What in the world is this thing? Yeah, that's a good question. The fuck is that? Eek! Whoa! What? It looks like Sizzle, the fuck? I see you managed to survive, detective. Hey, you're... Excuse my appearance. I seem to have lost my body. What? Why did he save us? Oh, and you there. Don't look at me. You're the ghost who's been saving Lean all evening, aren't you? You knew about me all along? Of course, what else would explain all those unnatural things happening? If you knew, how come you didn't do anything about it all this time? And how come you decided to save us all of a sudden? I thought you wanted to get revenge on us. I don't really know. What? Please, you gotta tell me. I need to know. Who in the world are you? Wait, why did he change? Huh? Sizzle, look at you, what happened? I can't hold on to that image of myself any longer. I can't remember who you are. That's right. I came all this way tonight trying to chase down my lost memory. For quite a bit of tonight, I thought I was you, Sizzle. Sizzle? My name isn't Sizzle. I bet you remember really soon. Who you are and who I am too. What? Wait, what? The man in front of me is not me. I'm even further away from the truth. Or maybe not. Something is stirring in my mind. A memory about to emerge. But is he like... just the power itself? I don't know. Do I know this man? Now that I've shed my image of myself, I feel like I'm one step closer to the truth. They got us good. It's all over for the submarine. Its engine room is destroyed. There's a hole in the hull and it's sinking as we speak. What are you doing here? I thought you had a deal with those people. They betrayed me. I was a fool to trust them. They already have what they wanted now. The Temsic fragment. I didn't know they had it all figured out. You mean they figured out the source of your powers? Yeah, that meteorite's radiation has two effects on living creatures. It gives power and time. If you don't mind, we'd like to hear more. Oh, Jesus. These 10 years, I've been watching the junkyard superintendent do his research. And I think I've kind of got some of it figured out. Okay, so he doesn't know all of it himself. I guess. The meteorite's radiation gives spirits special powers. Like possessing and manipulating objects. And in my case, swapping objects. Exactly, apparently there are individual differences in the powers we get. And it seems these powers change as time goes by. They do? Yeah, my powers have changed over these past 10 years. At first, I could only manipulate small living creatures. Oh. Now then, how do you suppose we got these powers? It's simple. It is? How then? In a nutshell, we died while exposed to the energy emitted by the meteorite, its radiation. That's what does it? Dying while being exposed to the radiation? On that day, 10 years ago. A fragment of that meteorite pierced my heart and I died. So of course I received special powers. Hey, wait a minute. Is that how I got my powers too? You know, you might be right. Oh yeah. No, I don't want to see it again. No. Oh, the little bark. Aren't the Temsic remnants still right there in that park at the bottom of the crater? You're right. So that must mean I must have died in the presence of the meteorite's radiation too. Yeah, probably when he was manipulating. Lean. Another effect the meteorite's radiation has on us is that it gives us time. Again, I think this time effect is centered around the theme of death, but it's not all that clear. So the fact that I can return to 4 minutes before a person's death is another effect of that meteorite. One of the characteristics of that meteorite is its ability to replay the moment of death. Replay the moment of death? This is also strange and confusing. I can't take it all in. It makes about as much sense to me as anything else. Yeah, strange and confusing. That just about sums up the object that pierced my body that day. Thanks to that meteorite fragment, my very existence is a contradiction. What do you mean? That day, when the fragment pierced my heart, I lost my life. However, because it remained inside of me, that fragment continued to constantly regenerate my body. In other words, my body was continuously cycling between the moments that separated my life and death. Oh. What? My body's vital functions stopped 10 years ago. But my body's time is perpetually stopped at the moment just before death. Time just stopped, huh? So I just simply existed, not really alive and not really dead. That pretty much sums up these last 10 years for me, ever since that incident in the park. My body hasn't aged a day, my hair hasn't grown an inch. Come to think of it, that old pigeon guy mentioned something. He said he couldn't cut this guy's body with the scalpel. So I guess as soon as an incision was made, his body would be regenerated. Wow. That reminds me of that movie Old. I don't know if you've guys seen it, but they're at like a beach and like the beach is kind of crazy. Maybe you should watch the movie. It's kind of scary, but not too bad. It's a little gory-ish. You should watch it. Before I left this country, I wanted to do one thing. Oh yeah, the funniest thing is, like, I saw this movie with my cousin at the cinema. We're both terrible with horror, but somehow we decided to watch a horror movie at the cinema. Like, we already can't watch horror on a tiny screen, but we were like, yeah, let's go to a cinema and watch a horror movie. I don't know why. I don't know what possessed us on that day, but somehow we thought that was a good idea. So literally the whole movie, we just were looking down, like covering our eyes literally the whole time. It was so bad. I don't know why we had that idea, but it's still a hilarious memory that I have. And it was fun. But yeah. Alright, let's continue. Before I left this country, I wanted to do one thing. I wanted to get revenge on the people who stole our lives. Our lives. As part of the deal, I made those guys promise to cooperate. Cooperate? You mean the kidnapping? It all went fine. I manipulated the justice minister and made him issue the execution order. But I thought he might call off the execution at the last second. So that's why you wanted his daughter kidnapped. But they kidnapped the wrong girl. Little did I know, they had their own reasons for cooperating with me. Huh? Their objective was to wipe out everybody who had to do with Temsik. Detective Choud was one such person, so they were happy to cooperate. Inspector Cabanea and the Junkyard Super, they were stated to be wiped out too. And as it turns out, I was one of their targets as well. So they stole my Temsik fragment and here I am. But they had one more final target. You, detective. Me? If you weren't there in the park that day 10 years ago, I never would have thought of doing something as stupid as taking a hostage. Okay, but I was just a little kid playing in the park. Yeah, I know. Huh? 10 years later and you'd become a detective looking into Choud's case. Tonight I invited you to a quiet spot on the edge of town. It was a trap, you see. I told you who I was. You never saw my face that day 10 years ago. So of course you didn't recognize me. I took possession of you to make you shoot me. Your subconscious resisted me, but such incredible power. It was the first time I wasn't able to control somebody completely. The aim was off and the first shot missed the mark. The junkyard was equipped with security cameras. I knew you'd be wanted for murder. That was my plan anyway. But they had other ideas. They simply wanted you wiped out. But then, something threw a big monkey wrench into their scheme. Me! I showed up. But who am I? I was supposed to meet up with them after that, but then something went wrong. What happened? My body disappeared. Aha, the inspector in white was responsible for that one. My precious bargaining chip was in that body. I had to get it back no matter what. That inspector caused me no end of trouble. But why were those people targeting me? I never even heard of the Temsik meteorite. Because you were looking into the Choud case. They thought you would find out about Temsik sooner or later. Okay. Uh-oh. And that's pretty much the whole story. The only thing left to do now is wait for water pressure to crush the submarine. Oh no! There are no cores that link from here to the water surface. I have an idea. We hook up the phone line and There are no communication cables down this deep. They meant for the submarine to be my coffin, a coffin for the dead. There's no escape. I think I kind of understand now. What you've been feeling these 10 years. You what? This feeling, cut off from the world, all alone in a submarine. Sinking slowly toward the bottom of an endless sea. This must be how you felt all along. Lean? Camilla, is it true we're stuck here? What? Can't we find some corpse and maybe we can turn back time? If my dad was here, I bet he'd save us. Oh, Camilla, I'm so sorry. That's funny. What is it, Sizzle? There's something I don't understand. Why would they go to all the trouble of detaching the control room? What? Why didn't they just steal the Temsic fragment and escape, if that's what they wanted? Why did they have to jettison your body off into the sea? That's a good question. But I guess it doesn't matter why now. We'll never find it again. We have no idea where it was launched to. Wait a minute. Yes, we do. Oh. This will tell us where Detective Chow is. The present from the inspector in white. That's right, Detective Chow told me to hold on to it for him. And the bullet is still in this person's body in the command room, right? Then we should be able to tell exactly where it is with this. But even if we find out where it is, how do we get there? We should be able to figure something out between the three of us. With our powers, right, Miss Lean? Wait, can we also use the... I don't know his name. OP Sizzle. Right. Oh, and wait a minute. What about a torpedo? Torpedo. In any case, it's way too early to give up. It looks like Detective Chow is our last hope. Come on, let's get started. Alright. Woo! Oh, grapes, nice. Can I eat them? Why is this machine shoving grapes at me? Well, this looks like the private cabin of the top officer, doesn't it? This machine is probably for feeding him grapes while he lies in bed. Oh, it sounds heavenly. I've been thinking about this for a while now, but don't you think that a country's use of technology is just a little off? Says the guy who made a deal with said country. Anyway, it looks like the arm of this machine is a bit busted. Go up! No. Can I do it again? Uh-huh. Torpedo room. Engine room. Where should we go? Let's check out the engine room. The phone line to the engine room isn't working right now. Okay, I guess not. Underwater probably damaged the line. I guess I don't need to go back there anyway. Okay. Oh, did I not pay attention? The torpedo room, huh? There might be another torpedo left there. I'll go check it out. Oh, I get it. You're going to use a missile to ram the control room. I don't know about Ram. We don't want to blow Detective Chowd up, but something like that. We'll climb up the torpedo room too. Up is definitely safer. Okay, I'll see you there then. Alright. It looks like the torpedoes can be launched manually with these switches. There are 2 tubes, so there should be 1 more left. I guess the first thing we have to do is load it into the tube. When it comes to missiles, you can count on me. I'll enter the coordinates of the command room into the torpedo. Knight just turned on the backup power. We ought to be able to use the switches now. Okay, let's try it. Good luck. What will happen to these 2 ladies? I think that's up to us and our powers. What? This is no time to be standing around, unsure of ourselves. Will you lend me your strength missile? Me, of course I will. Count on it. Adorable. Don't we have to load a missile or something? Is that something I don't know? No. No. Okay, I have no idea what I'm supposed to do. Like, I can't move anywhere. No. Oh. There we go. That torpedo looks serviceable. All set on this end too. But something's odd. What is? The command room, it looks like it's slowly sinking. Sinking? Yeah, like it's completely run out of power. I wonder what happened. I don't know, but I guess I'll find out. Right, okay, hop into the missile. I'll launch it for you. Okay, thanks. Alright. I've already set the torpedo's course. It'll head toward the command room where Detective Chowd is. 12 seconds after launching, it'll pass by the command room for an instant. That instant will be your window of opportunity to jump over to the command room. Okay, got it. Then we'll find a way to come back and save you. That'll probably be my last task tonight. Just hold on until we get back. Okay, come on, Missile. Missile? I'm sorry, I can't go. What? I just can't. How could I leave? I can't leave Miss Lean and Miss Camilla behind. I can't do it. Missile. I swapped the switches so the missile can be launched. You'll have to do the rest, Sizzle. I can't do it either. I can't ask Missile to come with me after that. I understand exactly how he feels. I want you to go, Missile. What? But Miss Lean? You staying here won't change our fate. But if you go with Sizzle, you might be able to make something happen, and that's our only hope. But what if that something doesn't happen? I'll never be able to see you again. Never ever again. Even I can understand that. I couldn't stand that. Don't worry, Missile. Miss Camilla? I just know you and Sissy can make something happen. I believe in you. I'll be right here waiting for you. We'll see each other then, don't worry. Oh, Miss Camilla. Oh. That's a good boy, Missile. Oh. Now, are you ready? Remember this. It's 12 seconds after I throw the switch. We're ready. Let's go! Sizzle? Yeah. We never found out who you really were. But that doesn't matter now. All I know is I'm truly glad I met you tonight. Thank you for everything. And I'm glad I met you, detective. But we're going to see each other again, right, Sissy? Right, Missile? That's right, we promised it, lady. Of course we will. I'll never forget you, no matter what happens. Here goes then. Good luck, friend. Let's go! These 12 seconds are lasting an eternity. I strive to think of a way to save Lean and the little lady the whole time. But how can a ray of light, of hope, reach this far, down into the deep sea? Before I can think of an answer, the 12 seconds are up. Oh, nice. Detective Chowd. I bet that big masked man did this. I'm going to bite him. You better not, you might break your teeth. The command room has lost power and is sinking. So I wonder what this masked man is going to do. Let's talk to Detective Chowd. Alright. Sorry for the wait, Detective Chowd. Where are you? Are you Sissel? Please excuse my appearance. I can't believe you made it here. How is Camilla and what about Lean? Well, it's kind of a long story. I told Detective Chowd about everything that happened in the submarine Yonoa. So the submarine is badly damaged. Why would he do that to his own submarine? I wish I knew. I know the answer to that one. It's because he's afraid of my powers. What are you doing here? You! You followed us? I didn't even notice. It's been 10 long years, Detective Chowd. Are you... Yomiel? Okay. So I guess I am Sizzle, and he's Yomiel. So you remember me, do you? How could I possibly forget? So that's your real name, huh? Yomiel. That's right. But those people on the Yonoa were calling you Sizzle. That's just an alias I was using for my deal with them. I didn't see any need to tell them my real name. Could you do me a favor? Would you let me ask you some questions? I've been trying to find out my true identity all night. Sure, go ahead. I'm sure there's plenty we can still tell you, right, Detective Chowd? Right. 10 years ago, you were a top systems engineer, weren't you? Systems engineer? What's that? By the way, I'm a top Pomeranian, you know? Yes, you are. Well, it's kind of hard to explain to a dog, but it's a person who's good at using computers. I don't mean to brag, but I was one of the best in the industry. Couldn't we technically enter Yomiel's body and then go back to like 10 years ago? And then change the fate there? Because then none of this is happening, no? That's how I got roped into joining that project. What project? It was a project aimed at reorganizing the nation's top secret information. The goal was to build a new system using multidimensional programming theory. I was asked to join the project by an agent of the government. It doesn't sound like something a top Pomeranian would know about know anything about. To me, it just sounded like another challenging job. However, this project was also the target of a secret plot. I bet you can imagine the kind of crime the nation's top secrets might attract. I never thought for the life of me I'd ever have to deal with spies. It was never made public, but every organization in the country moved on this one. And then one day, the name of a certain programmer emerged as a suspect. I was the guy who built the core of the system. The police arrested you, and then that incident happened. He escaped from the interrogation room and took little Lean as a hostage. By the way, Detective Child, when was it that I was proven innocent? About 6 months after your death. I'm so sorry, Yomiel. Oh. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, I had to sneeze. But I'm good now. 10 years ago. The meteorite, yes. Oh no, I think I have to sneeze again. I'm not gonna blast your ears, hopefully. My soul was split from my body and I lost everything. I was sealed in eternal darkness. I existed in this world, no question about that. But nobody noticed my presence. What good were my powers? They didn't help anybody. Not even the passage of time could heal my pain. In fact, it only made it worse. Wait, that's all the people we saved, no? More or less. I mean, it's just all the people in general. I wanted to disappear, but I wasn't even allowed to do that. The way Lean described it is exactly right. Sinking slowly toward the bottom of an endless sea. An overwhelming feeling of loneliness and despair. And I wanted all of you to suffer what I was suffering. And so that's why you murdered Alma. That's right. I wanted you to know what it was like to lose everything you cared about. I wanted you to feel the same pain I felt. What? It was the twisted wish of a mind poisoned by infinite loneliness. And then, as I was plotting my revenge, I had an idea. I came up with a plan to use these powers of mine to make a deal. There's something I just don't understand about that deal. I'm sure your powers would be very valuable to them. But what would you get out of the deal? A new life. Life. I asked them for 2 conditions. Number 1 was that they helped me with my revenge plot. And the second was a rebirth for me. Rebirth, a new beginning, eh? I didn't care if it was a fake life, an artificial life. I just wanted a physical receptacle for my soul. A name, an identity, and everyday life. I wanted to grow old in a society that would accept me. And finally, I wanted to die surrounded by a loving family. That's the kind of life I asked them for. A completely man-made life. That's right, I knew I couldn't hope for anything more than that. To make it all come true, I knew it would take a lot of money and a lot of power. That's why I decided to ask the national government to help me. The response in the end was betrayal. They were making their moves much more carefully than I suspected. They sent spies to this country and researched my powers on their own. And they even figured out what Temsik was all about. And you had no idea they were doing all this. None at all, I was a fool. So then, why did they go to all the trouble of making a deal with you? Why didn't they just steal a hunk of the Temsik meteorite from the park? They couldn't. Huh? After the manipulator incidents, research was conducted in this country too. A report was submitted to the government about the source of the manipulator's power. By Inspector Cabanilla and the old pigeon guy. At first the government didn't believe the report. But then they decided to put the park under surveillance, just in case. Surveillance, huh? It just looks like an ordinary peaceful park, but there are armed agents there at all times. Oh, is he an agent? Don't tell me that old leaflet guy is one of them. No, not him. He's just a plain old person. Okay. The park is like a silent battlefield on an international scale. So that's why they couldn't steal the Temsic meteorite. And lately, under the pretense of building a housing site, they've been working on a plan to destroy that park in order to secure the Temsic meteorite. So that's it. So the upshot of your grand deal was this. Yeah, it's the ending I deserve. But at least there's one thing you must be happy about. What's that? You've managed to seal me away at the bottom of the sea forever. Well, shall we get started? Started with what? Bringing Detective Chow back to life, of course. What? What good will that do now? But we promised. We promised Miss Lean and Miss Camilla we'd save them. And we can't do that without you, Detective Chow. I've been guided by fate tonight to this place. I won't give up now. Alright, fine. Let's see where it leads us. Here we go then, back to 4 minutes before your death. So, where are we headed? We are not headed anywhere, Detective. What? There was only enough fuel on board to launch us away, Detective. We will run out soon, and that will be our destination, Detective. What are you talking about? That would mean that you're trapped here too. Oh, he's just a machine. By the way, I'm not human, Detective. Well, that explains why he doesn't care. I'm a remote-controlled robot, Detective. What? Your country's use of technology is just plain off. We get that a lot, Detective. Why would you go to all the trouble to do this? That's nothing but a shell there. It's hardly a threat anymore. Commander Sif likes to provide against any possibility, no matter how small, Detective. Isn't Sif something with Star Wars, like Return of the Sith or something? I don't know Star Wars, I'm sorry. I just know they have lightsabers. I played like the Sims thingy, you know, the Journey to Bantu. Like that's all I know about Star Wars. That's like my knowledge. I know there are like little cute teddy bears or something. Ewoks, or there's the Chewbacca. I know that. I know there's Luke. He has a dad. His dad is Anakin. I know that. And I mean, spoiler, I'm sorry, Darth Vader. And yeah, that's more or less what I know. Han Solo is there, I think. Yoda. Luke makes out with his sister, apparently. His twin sister. Yeah, I think that's more or less all I know. I'm an absolute pro in Star Wars. But yeah, maybe that has something to do with Star Wars, I don't know. But Sith reminds me of that, because isn't one movie called Return of the Sith? I don't know. But yeah, I'm not a Star Wars fan, I'm really sorry about that. Yeah, let's continue. Possibility. What are you talking about? There is no need for you to know, detective. Smack that control panel. Oh! Now it is time to say goodbye, detective. In the end, your fate remains the same, it seems, detective. A girl. Camilla, forgive me. Oop. It isn't over yet. It isn't? Remember what that big masked man said. Any possibility, no matter how small. Possibility. In other words, there must be a chance here somewhere. The possibility of turning this situation around. He's not wrong, is he? We're not had a... Didn't we have all of this? Yeah. Huh? What is it, detective? Look at Yomiel's shell. There's no aura emanating from his body. Of course there isn't. The Temsic fragment is gone. Could this change in his shell give us some kind of lead? Well, I got a feeling that we're gonna go travel back 10 years more. Alrighty. But this episode is already a little longer, so I guess we're gonna continue in the next one. When we're gonna travel back even further, I guess. I don't know if it will, but yeah. But yeah, I guess this is a good point to stop. Like, we got a lot of new information. Let's let it settle a little bit. Let's, you know, get a breather, think about what we just saw, and then we're gonna hop back into action when we're ready for that. So, yeah. I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. Please leave a like if you like what you see, and obviously subscribe if you'd like to see more. I try to upload every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday. And yeah, thanks again for watching. Take care of yourself, and bye-bye.